Why do newborns seek the breast, or ducklings follow their mother? From the very first moments of life, animals and humans show behaviors they were never taught. These actions aren't learned, they are wired into the brain as instincts. Like blueprints that serve as layouts for cities, instincts provide the master plan for life's essentials: food, safety, social bonds. Experience and learning build on this plan, adding depth and nuance that allow each individual to navigate and adapt to its surroundings. In this episode, we'll show how environmental instincts guide animals' interactions with their surroundings, and how social instincts shape the learning of critical skills, such as recognizing members of their own species. From tiny worms to humans, instincts play a crucial role in survival, adaptation, and social interactions across species. Instincts are everywhere. Let's dive in. When humans and other animals are born, they don't start with a blank slate. Their brains come preloaded with fundamental programs stored in neural networks. These programs process sensory input, control movement, store information, and regulate learning. Instincts are a specialized family of brain programs. They are orchestrated sequences of basic brain activities. Triggered by specific cues, instincts activate coordinated responses that help animals adapt to their environment and thrive. Even simple organisms rely on instincts to develop new behaviors in response to changing conditions, reinforcing their role as blueprints for growth. Broadly, instincts fall into two categories: those that guide interactions with the environment and those that regulate interactions within a species. Let's explore some common instincts and the basic programs that they orchestrate. Let's begin with a remarkable example of environmental instincts: the innate instinct of sea turtles' hatchlings to dig themselves out of their underground nest and rush to the ocean. This process unfolds in distinct stages, each governed by specific brain programs. In the first stage, triggered at birth, the hatchlings must dig their way out of the underground nest. The sensory program detects the surrounding sand, while the motor program controls the digging movements. Once out of the nest, a basic neural program detects key sensory cues such as differences in brightness between the sea and the land, and the sense of land and water. Based on that general information, a basic motor program that orients the turtle toward the sea is activated, and then, the crawling program is initiated. The crawling program controls the turtle's movement until it reaches the water, where additional programs take over, guiding swimming and early survival behaviors. This remarkable sequence of actions demonstrates how instincts coordinate fundamental sensory and motor brain programs to achieve critical survival goals. Isn't this get to the water instinct amazing? A tiny sea turtle enters the world on a barren stretch of sand, equipped with an innate sensory system that detects just a few key cues, instinctively paired with basic motor programs. The cues are simple yet specific and universal. They exist on all sandy beaches. This ancient instinct has guided millions of sea turtle hatchlings for millions of years, leading them to their life-sustaining habitat, the ocean. Beyond that, the mother's instincts guide her to find the perfect nesting spot, relying on just a few general sensory cues and motor programs to dig the nest and lay her eggs. Both the hatchling's journey and the mother's nesting behavior are driven by innate neural networks shaped by DNA instructions. However, the simplicity of these cues and instincts, which have sustained the species for millions of years, is now challenged by modern civilization. City lights confuse both emerging hatchlings and egg-laying mothers, reducing the number of hatchlings that reach the safety of the ocean and ultimately shrinking each new generation. Now, let's delve into social instincts, the innate behaviors that regulate interactions between members of the same species. Among these are caregiving instincts and their complementary counterpart, care-receiving instincts. Individuals possess both caregiving and care-receiving instincts, which are expressed in different situations. A fundamental example of these instincts is the bonding instinct between a mother and her offspring, such as the strong connection between a cow and her calf, a bond observed across many species. During a time window around birth, the mother cow quickly learns to recognize her calf and exhibits nurturing and protective behaviors, including nursing, licking, and vocalizing. In turn, the calf learns to identify its mother and depends on her for warmth, nourishment, and safety, reinforcing the instinctive drive for connection and survival. Another group of social instincts involves the bonding between parents. This pairing fosters connection both before and after sexual interaction, serving the purpose of raising offspring. These behaviors vary significantly across species. By comparing the neural networks of two closely related species with vastly different bonding behaviors, we can better understand how specific brain mechanisms regulate social attachment. For example, prairie voles are monogamous and form strong pair bonds, whereas meadow voles are solitary and promiscuous. Studies have found that these behavioral differences are linked to innate differences in the density of the receptors of the hormones oxytocin and vasopressin in certain brain areas associated with reward in pairing. These findings support broader research showing a connection between those hormones and positive social behaviors across various species, including humans. Two powerful instincts, care receiving and caregiving, are built into the brain's neural networks. They are central to how all social animals develop, including humans. Every animal has both instincts, but care receiving comes first and caregiving develops later. These two instincts act like umbrella systems. They consist of other instincts and basic brain programs. One such instinct is the mimicking instinct. By mimicking their caregivers, young animals learn how to navigate their environment both on their own and as part of a group. Ducklings follow their mother. Prey animals learn to move in coordinated packs. Caregiving and care receiving consist of physical and emotional brain programs, which may be expanded by brain learning mechanisms. These instincts drive goal-oriented interactions that share a common objective, though it may appear different to each participant. For example, when a bird feeds a worm to its chick, the mother and chick are instinctively coordinated to achieve the shared goal of transferring the worm into the chick's beak. These interactions, embedded in neural networks, are closely tied to innate emotions. The mother experiences satisfaction when delivering the worm, and the chick feels the pleasure of being fed. They also serve an important learning function. Through caregiving, especially feeding, offspring learn to recognize the adult facial features of their species, a skill essential for future social recognition. This illustrates how brain-based associative learning programs, working in tandem with innate instincts, enable the acquisition of one of the most critical social skills, recognizing members of one's own species. This principle is widely used in conservation. For example, a rescued eagle chick is fed with an eagle puppet to help it recognize its own kind before being released into the wild. We have seen examples that illustrates an important principle of how behaviors develop. A skill learned during the execution of one instinct can later be applied to other, seemingly unrelated behaviors. For example, the ability to recognize members of one's own species learned while feeding is later used in socializing and mating. We've seen how instincts drive behavior, but what about emotions? Emotions are inseparable from our actions. In Part 2 of Instincts Explained, we'll uncover how instincts and feelings grow together. You definitely won't want to miss this one. Tap to keep watching.